about all I'm good for today. Whew. And there she goes. Hi there, folks. We had some bad fortune up at our dock where a pontoon is, and there's several of us have boats up there and have some habitat put in the water to attract the crappie, which has been doing a great job. This year we put in 5 more Christmas trees, and I'll be danged if the beavers didn't gnaw them all off. So our Christmas trees turned into just a pole, and that was it. So I decided I'm going to go get me some buckets and some tubing, and I'm going to make up some habitat myself. I've already got one bucket made up, drilled some holes, put some tubing in them, 1/2-inch tubing. Used a 1/2-inch drill bit to put the holes in the bucket here, putting about 7 or 8 pieces of tubing in. Only got enough tubing for one more bucket, but I'm going to get another one done up here, and I'll video that so you can see what I've done. Then I'll be adding concrete down into the bucket and try to keep it up around the ends of those poles that I put in there so that I can have them secure in there and they won't fall out on me. I don't anticipate they would anyway, because the holes are pretty tight. It was kind of tight to get it in there, but just to be sure, and plus that'll give me a little more weight to get it down further where I want it to be. So that's what we're going to be doing, and I'll keep videoing this, and we'll work on getting some more, one more of these done up at least today till I can get some more material. I've seen several YouTube videos on people putting these together, and they've been saying to rough up these PVC pipes a little bit so that the algae and stuff holds to them when they start to gather that. So I'm going to rough these up on this one that I've already put together because I couldn't find my paper till now. Doesn't take a lot, just run it over it according to what I've heard from people. So I'll also keep my jigs from getting hung up in the trees that we had planted. I call it planted up there at the dock too, so that's a bonus. And it's not too expensive to do. I think I spent $3 on the bucket, $21 for 25 feet of this 1/2-inch piping that I used. Plastic, kind of like PVC. It's not quite as rigid, I don't think, as PVC, but it's going to get done. I got all this at Menards. Relatively inexpensive to make your own habitat. And if I fare well with this, I might start doing some, taking them out on my boat, putting them in some of my favorite lakes. See if I can get something going like that. I'll go ahead and take this one out because it's on the loose one. You notice I'm got about 2.5 or 3 feet pieces here. I don't know that they need to be any longer than that. I suppose if I was in the big lake I'd do that, but since I'm just at the dock, I'm putting it in slips out there, I think those will be plenty long enough. If we wouldn't have had those Christmas trees to put in, I'd have probably been putting these together over the winter and already had them in the water, but then when we saw the beavers ate off all of our limbs off of our trees, and I'll show you, put a picture of that on here if they still got one of the poles in the water up there. Just the center pole of the tree, and that was all that was left. They cleaned off the limbs, and I suppose hauled them off to make a dam somewhere or eat or something. Alright, we got the sanding done. Now I'm going to drill some more holes in another bucket. And as you can see, I'm just using a hand drill. I've got a 5/8 drill bit. I made it a little bit bigger than the tubing so that I could get the tubing in okay. 1/2 inch was too big. I think I used a 1/2 inch and it was too big. So anyway, and I'm just randomly putting the holes in here. is all. There's no rhyme or reason really to it. Try to spread them out evenly, I guess, a little bit, but at different angles and stuff. A few more put in these holes, and okay. And we've got some more spikes put in. I call them spikes anyway. Some limbs. And now that's all the PVC stuff I've got now. So now we're ready to, we'll put some concrete in, mix it with some water, let it set up overnight, and then probably go put them in the lake tomorrow, or I might wait until I get my third one in. Anyway, there's 2 of them ready to go, so we're making some progress here today. Okay, getting ready to put a little concrete in here in the bucket. We'll add some water to it, and then I'll let it set up for the night. Hopefully it'll set up overnight, and we can have us some, put us in some crappie beds tomorrow up at the lake. A bag of Quickcrete here. Yeah, I'm getting old to pick this 60-pound bag up. There. Getting all of our tubes covered there. That'll keep them in place. Whew. That did me in. Just a little water out here. Exposed one under concrete, put some water in, and then I'm done. That's about all I'm good for today. Whew. I might be getting a little old for this. Have to get some grandsons to help me next time. Coming down the hill, headed for the dock to put in our fish habitat here. Hopefully draw some crappies in. Things were a little tricky getting down that drive.
Was it?
Yeah. I mean, it's a good thing I weighed as much as I did. Okay, so we've come up here today. We brought our buckets up, and we're tying some wire onto our concrete bucket so we can tie that off to the dock down here that we're going to put this in. See, I got that tied in there already. We're going to undo it from over here. I just did that to stretch it out so I'd have the right length that I wanted, which is about 12 foot. And I'm going to go down here, tie it off. I've already put one in. I'm going to go down a couple slips, put another one in, tie this other end off to the dock down there, and we should be good to go. think this is about where I want to put it. See if I can get down here. Tie this end off to the dock, and then we'll drop her down in. This is going to look like. Hopefully that'll draw some crappies into us. Now we're going to take this and put her into the water. And there she goes. And now she's tied off. And we've got another crappie bed.